Hey, what is up, you Rainbow Royalty? I'm Miss Explains and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So I'm going to be starting kind of this new series or segment, and it's going to be Ace Advice. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be giving advice to just people online or even you guys. So if you do have any questions, you want advice, you could definitely email me. My email will be in the description and right here as well. So definitely email me if you have any questions or want some advice, and maybe you'll be in the next Ace Advice segment. But right now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing just some online people's questions. So let's just get right into it. Should I tell my best friend that I have feelings for him? We are best friends for 4 years now. Half a year ago I told him that I'm gay and I like men. Before that he hated gay people and said very bad words about them. After my confession, he changed a lot and our friendship became way better and more honest. We spend all of our free time together since, and there are no more secrets between us. But the problem is that I fell in love with him. I can only think about him, and that is ruining my everyday life. He often touches me on my head, shoulders, and we hug a lot. He even said that I am one of the most important things in his life. He always emphasizes that I'm his best friend and number one, but why he says this nearly every time when we meet. In the last 2 or 3 years, he has had no physical contact with girls, and I'm not sure about his sexuality. Should I tell him how I feel? I'm so scared that our friendship would end. I feel that I can't bear this anymore, but I don't want to lose him. He is my other half. Okay, so that's a lot. I think that's very interesting. So you were able to tell him that you're gay, and his opinions changed, which is definitely a good sign. That's definitely a good sign of character growth. And that's a sign that this guy really cares about you. If he was able to change his opinions about something that is extremely opinionated and controversial in a lot of ways, the fact that he changed his opinion, and not only that, but he has been like very close to you, has kept very close contact, and even like touches you physically too, I feel like that might be a sign that he also likes you. So I believe you should just give it a shot, and if he is your true friend, especially the fact that he changed his opinions about gay people, I think that even if he didn't like you back, I think your friendship wouldn't be ruined. I think you would still be friends either way, because he seems to really care about you and really value your friendship, and potentially even think of you as something more. So I think you should just take the shot and see what happens, because you might be surprised. So with the rising discourse of the difference between pan and bisexuality, bisexuals and pansexuals both weighing in, I've started to feel a discomfort toward my sexuality. There are different perspectives, including this article here, and I've felt very torn about the topic. On one hand, I don't want to be a part of a sexuality that discriminates against trans people like me. On the other, I feel comfortable in this label, and I know a lot of good people who are pansexual. I don't want bisexuals to feel invalid either, and I definitely don't want to discriminate against bis because I'm part of that spectrum. I'm so confused. I just don't want to offend anyone. That is interesting, and as somebody that is not trans, I definitely don't have as much of a say in this topic, but I think for the most part, people can agree that both bisexuality and pansexuality aren't transphobic. Pansexuality basically just means that you're gender blind, so you don't care about somebody's gender when you are going to be with them. Whereas with bisexuality, it tends to be more of an umbrella term, and it tends to be used for just liking male or females, but that's not necessarily always the case. And trans people, in my view, as somebody that considers themselves biromantic, they totally fit into, like, a trans man is definitely a man, and a trans woman is definitely a woman. And I think most bisexuals would agree that they fit into those man or woman categories. And even sometimes bi people will also date non-binary people. It is more of an umbrella term and not as selective as we thought before. So with that being said, I think you can just identify with however you feel you should identify. If you feel like you are bi or if you're pan, then that's totally okay, and I don't think you're being transphobic at all. I don't think you're discriminating against bi people if you consider yourself pan as well. Overall, I don't think you're being transphobic, and just identify with how you feel fits you the most. Hinted I wasn't only into girls to my girlfriend. Cis male here. So I was in an argument with my girlfriend, and it slipped out that I'm not only into girls. I've known for more than a decade. I'm not really bi, and I don't really want to disclose all of me right now, but I let it slip that I'm not just into girls. She is now asking me to tell her what exactly I am. It is unfair for me to be dating her if she doesn't know. I don't want to tell her because I don't really feel she would understand. My friends aren't really fully accepting of the whole LGBT plus spectrum and can be very judgmental. In fact, my whole country can be like that. Coming back to the point why I don't want to tell her, she once joked that if I was bi, she would break up with me. So I don't really want to come out to her if it turns out to be true and not just a joke. When I let it slip, we got into an argument and she asked me if I was gay and had developed feelings for some other guy and wasn't telling her. I told her I've always been the same person and I'm only attracted to her and love her. I really do love her and have been in a relationship for 6 years with her, but I just don't feel comfortable coming out to her given the things she has said before. She's now asking me to tell her exactly what I am, and when I tell her why I don't feel comfortable telling her, that she says she is hurt that I'm not telling her. I have a feeling she is also stunned that she is not dating a fully heterosexual male. I want to know what is right. Should I come out to her, or should I only do it when I'm comfortable? Sorry about the long rant. I hope I made sense. Really would appreciate any advice. That is a lot. So you have known this person for a very long time, and you're surrounded by a lot of people that aren't accepting of the LGBT plus community. And that is really difficult, especially if you consider yourself to potentially be in part of that community. And if I was in your case, it would definitely be very difficult because, well, people could say advice like, oh, well, then don't be their friend because they aren't accepting. But the fact that basically your entire country acts in that way, it's going to be really hard for you to find people that are accepting. And especially if you've known these people for such a long period of time, it's really hard to give up friends that you've known and loved for a long period of time. And with the way that your girlfriend is speaking, it's interesting to me. I don't think that she should be pressuring you to come out to her however you feel you identify. It's definitely up to you to decide when you want to tell people. But at the same time, you feel worried that they're going to break up with you if you tell them what you are. I know it can be hard to hear, but you cannot hide part of your identity to someone that you love or are planning to be with for like the rest of your life. The people that you're with deserve to know eventually, when you're ready, of course. But at the same time, you don't want to do that to yourself. You don't want to be hiding part of yourself from somebody for the rest of your life because that's really just going to make you suffer. It's going to make you feel horrible because you can't be yourself. So I think in time, when you feel comfortable or ready, you should definitely tell them. And if they end out not being accepting, that's really difficult. But at the same time, it's also their loss. But it's really important that you put yourself and your happiness first, because you can't hide your true self for the rest of your life from somebody. That would just be extremely painful. So you should be honest and don't fear if they don't accept you, because then if you didn't tell them, you would be stuck with somebody that didn't accept you for who you were. Honestly, that would probably be more painful than having that closure, knowing that it just wouldn't have worked out anyway. Definitely tell them when you're ready, and you might be surprised at what happens. I don't know. I wish you the best of luck, though. Need advice/reassurance. Hey, I'm a 16-year-old female, and I'm pretty sure that I'm bisexual. I'm not stereotypically girly whatsoever. For example, I wear men's clothes, and I'm interested in masculine topics. Although I currently have a boyfriend, and I just feel so weird and wrong having a boyfriend because I'm so masked. This bothers me multiple times daily, and I don't know how to stop these thoughts. I just feel rubbish because of it, and I can't come to terms with it. I'm constantly comparing myself to others, or wondering what it would be like if I was different. If I had a girlfriend, I wouldn't feel weird being masked, because stereotypically many female couples consist of one femme girl and one mask, but I love my boyfriend, so that's not an option at the moment. I just feel like I'm the only one that feels like this. In relationships, you don't always need a masculine and a feminine sort of person. It can be both more masculine, both more feminine, neither. It doesn't matter as long as you love the other person. And because you already have a boyfriend, it seems like he already loves and cares for you how you are. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't care that you present yourself as more masculine. I think he probably thinks it's really cool. So don't think that you have to be more feminine just to make things like stereotypically look right. You can be who you are, and you should be who you are. And as long as you love the other person, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how the relationship looks to other people. It doesn't matter if it's one feminine, one masculine, both feminine, whatever. It doesn't matter as long as you love the other person and you both love and accept each other for who you are, then that's all that matters. Don't feel pressured by society to feel or be more feminine. I know the pressure can be really difficult, especially as a female myself. It can be very difficult because you're constantly being pressured by, oh, dresses, oh, makeup, all that sort of things. And if you're into that, that's totally cool. But yeah, that pressure can definitely be hard, and it can make you feel like you're not as girly or you're not as much of a girl. But that's totally not the case. We all have our different interests, and being masculine or more masculine like that is totally cool, and it's who you are. And I think it's best for you to live as your true self than to feel like you have to comply to social norms. And again, your boyfriend loves you for who you are, and that's all that matters. As long as you love each other, then that's all that matters, and you should care about them and not focus on the social norms that our society has. Yeah, that was the ACE advice segment. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you want some advice, please email me. I'd be very happy to make a video about it, of course, with your permission. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video.